Welcome back to day 3. So now that we have a better idea of what's happening around the body, we actually want to start to work it, right? We want to start to load that joint, but in a safe and healthy manner. And what we're going to be working on particularly is how we can still maintain that range of motion, maybe get some isometrics, meaning holds within that, and loading the joint in a safe and basic manner right now. If anything is causing pain, you want to back off of it, okay? Again, it's kind of assessing what is working. If this is hard, maybe I need to implement it a little bit more. If I'm feeling pain, maybe I need to change it. And you are the owner of your own body. I'm here to guide you, but you're really going to be the one who's making the decisions on, no, I need my feet a little bit closer. Oh no, I need to move them a little bit more. And as long as you're feeling what I'm talking about, then you can change it, whatever is needed within your body. Start to get to know your body. Trust your body. You know it better than I do. I'm just here to guide you through some of the exercises that might help to start building and properly loading this knee. So this first exercise, we're gonna focus on knee extension, getting that knee to come down toward the ground so that we can see this lovely quad muscle that wants to shine through. In order to get it to go, we need this good knee straightening, okay? You can always work on this passively, like if you're sitting at the couch, you can kick your foot up on a coffee table, maybe even put a weight on there. If you really are lacking knee extension, going to see a physical therapist is always going to be my first line of action to see maybe it is something mechanical that we can keep working through, or maybe you might need to be referred to an orthopedic surgeon. Remember that physical therapist should be your first line of support, right? We're there to really get you moving and feeling better in your body. All right, now onto the exercise. Now, this one, we're going to work this quad in a quadruped position. So I'm going to tuck my toes underneath me. My knees are directly underneath my hips, and I'm going to hover. Even just from this position, you'll feel the entire front of your body start to work. So your quads will kick on. I want you to hold this for like 5 seconds, and then nice and slowly, you're just going to extend out and squeeze the quads here. And then coming back down, see if you can hover just an inch off the floor, and then you're gonna press it right back, squeezing it. You can be higher on your toes. If you can't quite get those heels to touch, that's okay. It's really just focusing on the knee extension here and then coming down. If you have wrist problems, you can always be up on your forearms on like an ottoman or something. You can also challenge it just a bit more by placing a long band behind the knees, holding it out in front of you. And then from here, I'm going to extend, press, and then control and lower. Press it back, squeeze from the front of my thighs, and then coming back. So you want to try that for 10 times at least, holding each position for about 3 to 5 seconds and really challenging yourself. Remember, it's about that full extension, so really getting that knee as straight as possible. This is just one example of a knee extension exercise. You can also do it with what we did with the test. You can just keep working on that. So the next one we're gonna do is we're gonna work on those bridges and really getting the back of the body. Now that we got the front of those thighs, we're gonna get the back. So I'm gonna use a band again. You do not have to, okay? There are plenty of ways to work it without using it, but in order to get the sides of my glutes as well as the back, I wanna use a band, and we're just gonna work on bridge holds. Now, what people usually tend to do is move the feet a little too close to the bottom and then lift from there, and what ends up working are your quads, or you press it down and you're using a lot of your shoulders and upper body. So rather than that, we're gonna walk it out just a little bit. So from right underneath you wanna kick it out so it's quite natural. You don't want it to be so far out that you're reaching your toes down, and you don't want it to be too close where you can almost touch your heels, okay? So you wanna walk it out, and then I want at least a fist width in between my knees. So you don't want it too close and you don't want it so far. Okay, so feet are directly in front of my hips, at least a fist width between my knees, and then I'm gonna rotate my hands out so that I'm not cheating and using my palms down. I'm gonna open out from here. Now I wanna get this rib cage down so it's not flared out. It's just gonna drop down a little bit. And now I'm gonna press through my heels, ball the feet, and big toe. Yes, not just my heels, but the entire foot. Open against the band, lift, keep that rib cage down, and just squeeze as high as you can without that rib cage popping out. Another problem that people usually have is pressing here, again getting into your thighs and your low back. To combat that, we're gonna keep that rib cage down and think of taking this tailbone and tucking it under. So rather than holding it out, we're gonna tuck it under, squeeze, press to that entire foot, open the arms, and hold. So with a little tension on that band, tucking that tailbone under, you just wanna see, can I hold this for a minute? Yes, a minute. And you're gonna try that at least 4 to 5 times, okay? That's really gonna help to build that strength right in the back of that hamstring and that glute. So this next one, I'm gonna use a step stool, okay? This is just my at-home step stool. If you have something that's just a little bit higher of a surface, think of it like at the edge of a curb, okay? And what I'm gonna do are my elevated and slow heel rises. So I want the balls of my feet to be on the little step stool, and I'm gonna allow my heels to fall as much as they comfortably can. Then from here, I'm gonna rise up right on the ball of my big toe. So I wanna stay on the inside, kind of pinching those heels, those ankles together. You do not wanna fall out toward your pinky, okay? So we wanna stay right on the ball of that big toe and then slowly lower down, okay? It's more important to go really slow on the way down. So rise up and then slowly come down. Rise up, slowly come down. If this is quite easy for you, you can also rise up and then go really slow on one leg. Let that heel drop as much as possible and do at least 10 on each side or 10 all together, and you'll do at least 3 rounds of that and really feel the back of those calves getting a nice good workout. All right, last one, we're gonna work on the front of the shins. So we touched on the back, we touched on the front, and we touched over here in the thigh. But we often forget that what also connects around that knee is the front of the shin. We need it to be nice and strong as well, especially if we want to go out running. So you're gonna lean back against a wall, and we're literally just gonna start to lift the toes and relax, lift and relax. And you wanna do at least 30 of them. Now this could be a one-time go, this could be 3 sets of 10. The closer you get up to the wall, it's a little bit harder to lift those feet, okay? So if you need to, start a little bit further. We have a little bit more range of motion there, and then lift, okay? So this is a great one, just mix it up. Maybe you start a little bit closer, and maybe it's a little easier for you. Maybe it's actually harder to go out further because then you have more range of motion. You gotta test it out for your own individual body, see what makes it challenging, and then do 30 of those. And if you completely neglect these, this is a great way to actually help improve ankle range of motion as well. So those were some basics. Hopefully you start to assess, wow, I might need a little bit more work here or there, but we really touched all around that knee so that we can start to then progress it into what's needed next.